I still remember the night everything changed. It was the night my father looked me in the eyes and said, "You will marry him. He's a good man. Older, yes, but he will take care of you." And that was the moment I felt my world collapse. I'm not sure if you've ever felt what it's like when your dreams don't just disappear. They're taken from you, one word at a time. At that time, I was 23. I had just finished university, full of plans, full of hope. I wanted to work, maybe travel, maybe teach someday. But my father had other plans. He was a man of pride, strong, respected, the kind of man whose one word decided everything in the house. For him, honor was everything, and love, well, that was just a luxury for weak people. One evening, he called me into the living room. He was sitting there with someone, a man I'd never seen before. Graying hair, gold watch, thick voice. He smiled at me like he already owned me. "Come, Aisha," my father said. "Meet Uncle Rafiq. He's my old friend. He's been alone since his wife passed away. He wants to marry again, and I've agreed." For a moment, I thought I misheard. I laughed, a nervous, confused laugh. "Abba, you're joking, right?" But my father didn't smile. He said, "It's decided. The nikah will be simple." And in that instant, I realized he wasn't asking me. He was telling me. I couldn't sleep that night. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, hearing his words over and over. "He's a good man. He will take care of you." But who would take care of my heart, my dreams, my choices? The next morning, I tried to talk to him. "Abba, please, he's too old. He's your friend. He knew me as a child." But he just said, "That's why I trust him." And when I cried, he didn't look at me. He just walked away. Days passed. Wedding preparations began. Relatives started calling, congratulating. My mother stayed silent, the kind of silence that screams. She didn't agree, but she couldn't go against him either. One evening, I heard her crying in the kitchen. I hugged her. She whispered, "I wish I could save you, Beta, but I can't fight him." That's when I realized, sometimes love means being powerless. I started writing in my journal, the only place where I could speak freely. Every night, I'd write letters to the girl I used to be. The girl who dreamed, who laughed, who believed the world was kind. And in those letters, I told her, they can take your voice, but not your truth. They can control your life, but not your soul. One day, I got a call from my university friend, Saima. She said, "You've been so quiet lately. What's wrong?" When I told her everything, she went silent. Then she said, "You don't have to go through with it." I laughed bitterly. "Saima, I can't disobey my father. He's my whole world." She said something I'll never forget. "Maybe it's time to build your own world." Those words burned into me like a light in the dark. A week before the wedding, I met Rafiq again. He came with gifts, jewelry, clothes, perfume. He looked at me and said, "Your father says you're quiet, but don't worry, you'll learn to be happy." That sentence chilled me. You'll learn to be happy. Happiness was now something I had to learn, not something I was allowed to feel. That night, I stood in front of the mirror wearing the heavy bridal dupatta my mother had placed on my head. My reflection looked like a stranger. Then something inside me broke, or maybe it woke up. I picked up my phone and texted Saima. "Can I stay with you for a few days?" She replied instantly, "Yes, come tonight." My hands trembled as I packed a small bag. I looked at my parents' room, the door half open, the sound of my father's snoring echoing faintly. Before leaving, I placed a note on the table. It said, "Abba, I love you, but I cannot marry a man I don't love. One day I hope you understand that I didn't run from you. I ran for myself. And I left. That was 2 years ago. I've built a life since then, Small, quiet, but my own. I work in a library now. I live with Saima, who became my sister in every way that matters. I haven't spoken to my father since, but sometimes, on lonely nights, I still check my phone, hoping to see his name. Last week, it finally appeared. He wrote, "Aisha, I was angry, but now I understand. When I said I wanted you to marry my friend, I thought I was protecting you from the world. I didn't realize I was the world you needed protection from. I'm proud of you, Beta. Come home." I read that message 10 times. I cried like I hadn't cried in years. And for the first time since that night, I smiled. Because sometimes love isn't about obeying. Sometimes it's about teaching the people you love what freedom really means. Today, when I tell my story, people ask, "Do you forgive him?" And I say, yes, because he didn't know better. And maybe my courage helped him learn. My father still calls me every Sunday now. He still gives advice I don't take, but his voice sounds softer, gentler. Sometimes he even says, "I'm proud of you, my brave girl." And every time I hear that, I feel like I've finally come home. Moral: sometimes courage doesn't roar. It whispers in a trembling voice that says, "I deserve to choose." Love can coexist with resistance, and the strongest daughters are the ones who teach their fathers that love cannot be built on silence.